G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. In this video we're going to be having a look at Feren OS. Now, Feren OS, Feren Next, Cinnamon to Plasma transfer. So that's what we're looking at here. So currently here I'm on Feren Next. Now this was originally Feren Cinnamon based on Linux Mint. So what I've done is I've given his transfer tool, which is called Feren-Cin to Plas, a bit of a go to see what would happen. And what's happened is it's gone from the Cinnamon desktop to the Plasma desktop. This is the Feren Next we are on now. And I had some documents in here which you can see are all still there. Downloads. Music, pictures, videos. So I've got that video which I'm making here, currently recording. But the rest of them, I thought I would throw quite a fair bit of documentation files and folders and so forth to see how it handled that, and didn't lose anything at all. And it seemed to work quite well. So if we go to the system settings and we have a look at that, under the system settings, I think under themes, or could have been window decorations, I had under one of those, I had all the Cinnamon themes and colors and stuff that I installed on the Cinnamon desktop. Now they were here upon first boot, but it looks like an update may have removed all those, which makes a bit of sense because none of them really integrated well with the Plasma desktop. Now there was some icons here as well. We've still got the Mint X and Mint Y icons there, so you can see those are still there, but the window decorations however have gone. So I don't know what happened to those. Maybe there was an update to remove those because they if you checked on any of those themes, they weren't going to really work well because they're not really suited for the Plasma desktop, I don't think. Icons are a different story. Icons can be made to suit most desktops anyway, I believe. So if we have a look at some of the... let's have a look at... some of them have got question marks on them as well. Let's just check out Mint X Blue and apply that and see what happens. Now, whether it looks any good or not, I don't know. If we go to our folders, yeah, it's got the Mint X Blue, but the one that's normally comes out of the box for Feren Next is the Inspire or the Inspire Dark. I think he might have been on the Inspire, I think. So as you can see there, all seems to be working pretty well. Only thing I've had on the one or two occasions is the system settings has crashed once or twice. I'm not sure what that's all about. If it happens again, I may have to send a bug report. But so far, so good, running well. So what I'm going to do, now this is on my real hardware, it's my desktop computer here I'm running this on. So what I'm going to do is take you over to my main machine on a Virtualbox, and I'm going to run you through what I did here. I've put some files and folders on the Virtualbox, not as many as what I did on the real hardware, but just enough to give an example. So I'll see you on my main machine in the Virtualbox. So here we are in the desktop of my Debian 10 GNOME. We're going to start up Feren OS. So let's do that. So here we are on the desktop of Feren OS. This is the Feren OS Cinnamon based on Linux Mint. So let's have a look at my home folder. I have some documents in here just to show you that there are some documents here and make sure that they are protected throughout this process. Pictures, and a couple of videos. So the one thing I didn't try is I might just take maybe this computer folder out and cut that into the home folder to make sure that things in the home folder are there as well. So I've got computer, some folder of computer stuff in it. So what we want to do is we want to try the colouriser. Feren's asked me to try the theme colouriser, which I did in the one on the real hardware. We'll choose Feren. We're going to colourize Feren. So let's make some really out there colours to see what happens with those. So I'm going to use red and see what happens with red. What do you want the theme to be called? I will call it Feren Red. Shall the title bar be coloured depending on the chosen colour? Let's say yes. Theme saved to .themes Feren Red. You can use this theme by going into System Settings and Themes. Okay. Apply it now. Yes, why not? Let's do that. And let's see what we've got from the colouriser. Oh, there we go. So everything's red. Okay. Let's make one more. See what happens with this colour. Oh, yeah, if I can spell. Colouriser. Theme colouriser. On the Feren again. And we shall make a, what's a colour I don't like? Green's not one of my most favourite colours, so let's try green. Feren dash green. Yes, title bar. And OK, and apply it now. And let's see what everything's looking like now. So we have green. So there we go. So that's how the colouriser works. And we've also got green on the menu as well. So that's the colouriser. Now Feren also asked me to look at theming from the store. Not really sure what he's talking about. Maybe just themes. Let's have a look at themes in the store. See what's available. I'll probably get this wrong, but Feren will tell me. He'll probably tell me, no, I didn't mean that. So I'm not quite sure what themes he's talking about, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not really sure what themes we should be chasing there, but we've done the colouriser, that'll do. Let's try System Settings, and let's just go to Themes and see what the themes mix and match would have to go to. And we should have some, yep, Feren Green. Feren Green should be a Feren Red, so it doesn't take on the colour or anything like that. I've got a small amount of icons. Do we have a Feren Green here or red? Feren Red, Feren Red, Feren Green. Okay, so it's on green at the moment because that's what I chose. Controls are Feren Green. Yep, okay. So that all seems to be working okay. As far as theming from the store, I'm not really sure what Feren's referencing there, but let's get into what we are trying to achieve here, which is transferring Feren OS Cinnamon based on Linux Mint over to Feren Next, which is based on Ubuntu. So that's the plan. Now, I don't know if he's got Synaptic in here. Yes, he does. So what we're looking for here is, now I think I did this in the terminal on real hardware. I want to try and sort of capture this, if I can, in some sort of GUI. Now, I don't think it will be in the store. Let's cancel that for a minute and let's go to the store. I doubt whether a small package like that would be in the store. So what we're looking for is Feren-Sin to Plas. Oh, well, it is in the store. There you go. So this is the one, this is the package we're after, Feren-Sin to Plas. So let's install that. And it's going to install this dependency as well. Just keeping in mind I have done this on real hardware and it did work without any problems. Failed to download package file, so I don't know what's going on there. Check internet connection. I'm pretty sure I've got internet. Shouldn't be a problem there. So it looks like the internet is working. Yep, if you can ping Google, it's definitely working. So I don't know what's happened there. Let's do an update first. So let's open the update manager. That's what we're looking for. Your system is up to date. Okay, so we've refreshed that. We didn't have that little tick down the bottom right hand corner, so that may have been our issue. I'm not sure, because I know that there's like a 10-second delay in Cinnamon before updates are checked for, so I don't know if anything's gone wrong there or not. It's a little bit strange. So let's try that again. Feren, let's try installing that again, and failed to download package files, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's try Synaptic, and failing that, we'll do it in the terminal. Maybe it needs to be done in the terminal, I'm not sure. So let's check that on, mark for install, mark that, and apply, and apply. All right, so it looks like he might be working on that website at the moment. Maybe I've just picked a bad time to do this. Cinder Plasma, it's saying it's installed, but I doubt it very much. Quit that. Oh no, it's just marked for installation, that's all. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Sudo apt update. No, so there seems to be a GitLab error there. There's a couple of problems there. I may have to ping Feren on Telegram and ask him what's going on. So we'll do that while we're here. This video could be very bad timing for Feren's repos at the moment. He may be working on them. All right, so there's definitely a couple of problems there, but I'll give it a go, try and install it. Sudo apt install Feren -sin to Plas. Okay, so it's asking me to install. Let's go yes. No, we've got a bunch of errors there, so I'm gonna have to stop this video here, and we'll wait till we get those repos sorted out. All right, so here we are back in Feren OS Cinnamon based on Linux Mint. Had some problems with the repos last night. GitLab was down, so that was the issue. I believe it was probably back up just prior to me going to bed, but it was getting late, so I couldn't continue last night, so I thought I would continue again today. So let's just check that out and make sure all's going well. We've got our green theme there. So let's do a sudo apt update and see how things are traveling. Yep, so everything looks good. No problem there. So let's try again. So back to the store we go, the Feren store, and we shall check out that package again that we tried to install last night. Feren -sin to Plas is the package we are looking for, and there it is there. Let's click on that and install. And additional software, it's probably a dependency, so let's continue that. And we have it installed, so all looks good there, no problem at all. So let's just recap, probably the next day for me, but it's probably instantaneous for everyone else. But what have I done here? I've put computer in the home directory in here, this computer here, because I didn't have anything in my home directory on the real hardware test, but I had everything else in all my home folders. So that's all good, got stuff there. So we want to make sure that that's all kept safe and sound as we transfer to Feren OS Next. So let's do that. Open the menu and search for Feren transfer tool. I believe that's the one. No, that's not the one. Let me try again. Sin transition to the new experience. So I just typed Feren-Sin. What else will it come under? Maybe Sin. Plas. Yeah, Plas. Try Plasma. Transition to the new experience. There we go. Let's have a look. The all new yet familiar Feren OS experience is awaiting you. Thank you for using Feren OS. We would love for you to join us in the all new Feren OS experience that is powered by KDE Plasma. This wizard will guide you through the process of transitioning to the new Feren OS desktop experience. So please click Next to continue. Let's do that. So there have been multiple changes to the way Feren OS looks and feels with this new experience. You'll find these changes as you use the new Feren OS experience, but it is essentially all boils down to the following key factors. The familiar Feren OS style is still intact, making the OS feel new, yet still familiar to users. More options have been introduced to make your desktop your own. The desktop is now more lightweight, letting you do more at once than before. The desktop is now more stable due to being designed with configurability in mind. If you're unsure about the switch to Plasma and would like to see how it looks and feels before you make the transition to the new experience, please either take my word that it will look quite close to the workflow you know and love, or hit the button below to check out screenshots of the new experience. So let's just check that out. All right, so for some reason the screenshots are not there. I'm not sure whether they're not up and running yet. Maybe still working on that. But we can see the experience in this desktop itself. So let's click Next. So to make sure you can feel at home with the new Feren OS experience, once the transition is complete, almost immediately we are giving you the option to back up most of your configurations from Cinnamon pre-transfer so that they can be applied immediately when you log into Feren OS with Plasma for the first time. If you would like to begin the backup process, click the button below. We'll need to have super user access temporarily to back up configurations from Cinnamon for every user on your system. So the shell theme will default to Feren or Breeze. Accessibility settings are not there. Online account settings are not there. Any customizations made to panel. And that's pretty obvious because the panels are going to be different in Cinnamon than what they are in Plasma, no doubt. Yes, and he doesn't have online account settings yet. They're there, but they don't actually work yet. So I think that's a work in process, that one. So let's click on Backup Cinnamon Configurations for all users. So this is the list of what he can and cannot transfer from Cinnamon to Plasma. So you can back up Cinnamon configurations for all users here. Let's just check that out and see what that does. I think I skipped that one last time. Oopsie. So Cinnamon configurations have been successfully backed up for all users. When you're ready, proceed to begin the transition and Feren OS will handle the rest. Okay, let's go next. So with all that said, you can either start the transition now, delay it until later, or stay on Cinnamon for the time being. What would you like to do? I'll begin the transition now. You can also delay the transition offer until next time I log in, or I want to stick with Cinnamon. Never show this wizard again for the time being. So they're your options. Let's go yes. So put in our password. And what I'll do is I'll speed this bit up so you can see the process, but it won't take as long as real time. So it looks like it's gone for a reboot straight after. Oh, the Feren OS is finishing the transition process. Please wait. Hit Control Alt F2 for more details. So there you can see it's creating the two colours that I created in Feren. Cyan and red, I think. They may be the ones, or maybe not. Okay, so there we are, back at the login screen. Let's log into the system. Invalid theme name, try again, okay. I don't remember getting that on real hardware. Not sure if it'll just bypass that. I'm not sure if this is a VirtualBox issue, but I'm going to have to shut the system down and power off the machine and try again. Alright, so we've got the welcome screen, but I've still got this error in the background there, so we'll just ignore that for now. Let's just start that. Let's go next, next, next. Okay, so here we are again in another desktop. Had a few issues with getting this to transfer over. It worked perfect on real hardware. I was just trying to figure out what the problems were, whether it be VirtualBox or whatever. And then I was successful in doing so, and then I forgot that when I reinstalled the VirtualBox, I didn't put any documents in here. So I thought that's not much of an example to give. So I've got this computer one here. I've got documents in there. Got some downloads there. Music, pictures, and videos. So what I need to do is I need to install the Feren OS transfer tool again. So I've managed to take some snapshots in the VirtualBox so I don't have to keep reinstalling. So install this. Okay, so that is done. You can launch from there, or you can search for Plasma, which is the transition to the new experience. Now what I've forgotten to do is theme colouriser. Now if you've done theme colorizing, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about 4 colors. Select that. I'm going to call that Feren Green. Now the most important bit about this is what I normally do is I'm so used to in Linux putting some sort of dash or something in between names, because when you search for names in the terminal, it's better if they have no gaps in it, because then it needs a backslash and then a forward slash with a gap in between, something like that. So I've always got used to doing this. Now what I noticed was this was the problem I was having. It's it cannot update the theme name or something like that. I can't remember what the error was. I'll be able to look at it once I start editing the video. I've tried it again with a gap, and it seems to work okay. So that's what I'm going to do here. So we'll apply that theme. So the theme is applied, and we're going to do this another 3 times. That's green. We'll do a red. So now we've got the grey. Hopefully this one works okay, because the last one I did worked fine. So I'm just trying to demonstrate this in VirtualBox, and VirtualBox is my biggest problem. So I don't know whether the dash between the name is okay or not. Hopefully Feren watches the video. He knows I'm making one. So hopefully he watches this and he's got an answer for that. I don't know if that's a bug or whether it's normal, or whether it's not supposed to have any characters in between the names or not. I don't know if that's an issue there. So let's continue on. We probably can go to the store and just install a theme. We'll install the Arc theme. We'll just install a theme to see whether that works okay. Because normally whatever theme you've got set will carry on over to the Feren Next. So let's mix and match here, and we'll go for the controls as at Arc Dark. Like so. That's not really Arc Dark, is it? Doesn't look like Arc Dark. Oh, it's probably my night light. That's probably what it is. And we'll go for, if we've got Arc, we'll go for Arc there as well. So let's do that and see what happens when we update. So let's do the transfer. Let's go next. So we've tried the screenshots. There's nothing seems to be there. Now backup Cinnamon configuration for all users. That backs up everything with the green tick, but these other ones will not be backed up. So if that's an issue for you, you may want to consider not going to Feren Next until those things are sorted out. Now, I'm not sure if he's working on these. Online accounts, maybe. I think there's some issues that are outside of Feren's control for some of these. So that may be a problem as well. He's probably working on that. So let's back up that for all users. I did that on the first one and everything didn't work. Not because this was the problem, I don't think. I think the theme names were the problem. So let's begin transition now. Yes. Okay, so we are at the login screen, so hopefully all goes well. It's at this point where things seem to go wrong, especially for the theming side of things. Now it's right here where I normally have the problem, but that's gone straight through, so that's great to see. So I'm straight into a desktop. Excellent. So it must be the name of the theme that's throwing that out and causing some errors to come up, which is very interesting. So I hope that sort of gives Feren something to work with, because he may not know there's an issue there. Now the problem I've got is on real hardware. I may have to try this again, because I don't know whether I named it with a character in between or with no character in between. I really don't know. So if I did put a character in between on real hardware, then it's got to be a Virtualbox issue. It's very interesting, I must say. So let's start. I don't really want to install codecs at this time. Don't want to do it. We'll just take all the defaults. And we are in our new Feren Next Plasma desktop. Let's check it out. So we have Nemo 4.2.3. You can see my computer folder is still in the home folder. All my documents are still there. Everything's intact. So I'm pretty happy with that. And that's exactly what happened on real hardware. And it wasn't a problem at all. Just to have a quick look at system settings and themes in here. Now normally I would have thought it would carry over the theme into here. So if we go to colors, I did some colors in Feren Cinnamon. And I think the last one was grey. So I would have thought it would have stayed Feren grey. So these colours are a little bit odd here. Especially that background. So we may need to check something a little bit more, with a little bit more purpose for the Plasma desktop. So let's go for Feren OS. Familiar actually. Familiar layout is good. And he's got this one checked off by default for all of them. So the layout and the themes will, if you check that, I think the themes will come with it. If you don't check that, if you uncheck that, it will be just the theme, the layout change. I believe that's how it works. So let's apply that. Let's get some sort of Feren default going on here. Okay, so let's try that. Now the familiar has the tiled menu, which I quite like. You can see it's got a bit of transparency about it as well. Got your welcome screen there, your default settings, install software, flat packs and snaps if you need. Introduction features, I've been through that on a previous video, so I won't go through that now. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the way that's worked, and it all seems to be working pretty well. We'll go back to colors, theme and colors. Okay, so now we have something a little bit more back to normal. Now just want to see whether, so we got Feren black, that's the one I made. Feren green, that must be the one I made as well. Looking for Feren red. Feren pink, Feren red, that would be the one I made. I didn't make anything with dark in it. Feren red. There's two Feren reds. Maybe there was a Feren red anyway. And Feren grey. So it's carried the colours over. But to be honest, I think the themes that comes with this is pretty good anyway. System settings closed unexpectedly. So I had this problem on real hardware as well. So this is not just a Virtualbox thing. So let's restart the app. I'm not sure what that's all about. So if that happens again, I might send a bug. So if we choose Feren OS Dark, and I want to keep the familiar layout. So I think I said the opposite before. So I want to keep the familiar layout, but I want the theme. So we don't want to use the layout from theme, we just want the theme. So Feren OS Dark, and apply. And there we go. So that's how that works. So we'll go for Breeze Dark and apply that. And as you can see, I've still got my tiled menu, so that's okay. That's what I wanted. I wanted the Breeze Dark. We can try the Breeze. So that's the Breeze. So let's go for a color. For global theme, I'm going to choose Feren OS, and then I'm going to go for some colors and see if we can get some colors going here. Let's try Feren Black. So not looking too bad. So we've got the update manager here. Install updates. So that was an update to Pantheon Photos. Let's check that out. Nice. So everything appears to be working okay. I've just had that one glitch with the crash in the system settings. Hopefully that all works out okay anyway. Besides that, all seems to be running very well. So that was Feren OS Cinnamon based on Linux Mint with Feren OS's transfer tool from Cinnamon to Plasma based on Ubuntu with the Plasma desktop. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it interesting and informative, and thanks for watching.